Okay, so let's just settle into a nice, comfortable seated posture. And you can have your feet flat on the floor, about a hip's width apart. And your shoulders are aligned with the hips. And imagine your spine is a string of pearls of light stretching from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. Trying to put some space in between your vertebrae. Just lengthen the spine and just think about having your shoulders aligned with the hips, ears aligned with the shoulders. And just imagine you're lengthening there. Now bring your awareness to the crown of the head. Notice any sensations there. And relax your scalp and forehead, eyes, nose, cheeks, and the mouth. Around the area around the mouth, and relax the jaw and your ears and your inner ears. Relax the throat and the chest and the belly and all of your limbs. Relax your hands and feet and fingers and toes. And now just notice the sensation of the air as you inhale and exhale. It's a little bit cooler as you inhale, slightly warmer as you exhale. And be aware of the sound in your environment. Any sound, whether it's in your home or outside. And just allow those sounds to be there, trying not to follow with the mind. And now just notice the thoughts that they're arising. As they're arising, try and put some space in between those thoughts. So some people see their thoughts as images or movies. And maybe your thoughts have a, a particular kind of a texture. Like do your virtuous thoughts have one kind of a texture and maybe angry thoughts have another? Or maybe not at all. And do your thoughts have color? And just take a step back and check it all out objectively. And trying not to follow the internal dialogue with the mind. Just allow it to be there, to arise and abide. And then gradually it'll, dissipate. And then bring to mind all the people of your life. And, we do this every night, so you might be curious with yourself and notice whether any of those, the friend, this one we love so deeply, this one we don't like so much, and this stranger, if they could, did they change place? And just think that they're all equal. They have this, everybody has this extraordinary wish to be happy, to be free from suffering, and having unbelievable capacity for Buddhahood. So we do this meditation, this Vajrasattva meditation, in the context of the four opponent powers. for the benefit of all these people of our life, and by extension, all sentient beings. So we start by thinking there is no negativity that can't be purified. And this purification process is basically a cycle of, and because we're creating negativity with our mind, and equally we can change that by creating positivity instead. And we start with the power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all of our past lives. And think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. And we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions, and having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. We cannot bear the thought of any future suffering that we might experience. We know from our present suffering we don't want any more. So logically, it does make sense to remove those karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think, I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And then think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance. So we turn to the Buddha, Vajrasattva, who we don't see as a higher power. We see as a doctor who has these methods that we can use to heal ourselves. So imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. You can also imagine this is your teacher. This is the mind of your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. And he's made of this beautiful, radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. And he has a beautiful, radiant face. His eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. He has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell, and this represents wisdom. The right is holding a vajra, and this represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two, and this symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, so compassion is under this heading of reliance along with refuge, we need to rely upon other beings. So the very beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of people you've harmed recently and in the past, and then in general, all beings we have ever harmed since beginningless time. And then remember those who have harmed you and just have compassion for them, because the harm they've caused you is going to result as suffering for them sometime in the future. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these beings, and think, I must purify for their sake. And now we come to the power of the remedy, and this is the medicine doing the practice of purification. And we start with the body, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you have ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid, and this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutukaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Am Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutukaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta me boa sawasidi mimpiata sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe ambajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dida me boa sutukaya me boa sipokaya me boa Anurakta me boa sawasidi mimpiata sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha ho bhagavan Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe ambajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sutukaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe. Then be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think that there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. And next is the purification of our speech. And Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech. And this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So just imagine that all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking badly about others behind their backs, all of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sutukaya meboa sipokaya meboa anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sutukaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sutukaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sutukaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita Dida me boa, situkaya me boa, sipokaya me boa, anorecta me boa, sawasidi me piyatsa sawa kama sita me, sitam shriam karuhum ha ha ho bhagawan, sawatata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata ahum pe. Vajrasafa samaya manupalaya, Vajrasafa dina patita, Dida me boa, situkaya me boa, sipokaya me boa, anorecta me boa, sawasidi me piyatsa sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahum Pe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutukaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorecta Meboa Sawasidi Mipi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitam Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahum. So again, feel delighted that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything but benefit others with your speech. And that does include yourself, because you'll hear it, hear what you're saying, you'll hear your own words, and you'll read your own words. So it's not just about talking. This is about what we write in emails and notes and letters and cards and what we put on social media. And so next is the purification of our mind. And Vajrasattva now very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra. And this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So it's, you walk into a room and you flick on that switch and the light instantly dispels the darkness. So it's the same here. The moment the light from Vajrasattva's heart chakra hits your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, all your attachment and neediness and anger and depression and bitterness and grudges, resentment, jealousy, all of this is instantly dispelled, not one atom left as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dina meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anorecta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagawan sawatata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dina meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anorecta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagawan sawatata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata ahum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dina meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anorecta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagawan sawatata gata vajramami mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorecta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahum Pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anorecta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagawan sawatata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata ahum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anorecta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagawan sawatata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata ahum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anorecta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagawan sawatata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata ahum pe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of your own suffering and the cause of why you harm others with our, why we all harm others with our body and our speech, are completely purified. And think now that there's no space in your heart for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. And next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. So imagine this time that Vajrasattva sends light and nectar, and it fills you completely and eradicates even those very subtle imprints of negative energy as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dita meboal sutukaya meboal sipokaya meboal anurakta meboal sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shiyam kuruhum ha ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata hum pe. Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dita meboal sutukaya meboal sipokaya meboal Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shiyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dita meboa sutukaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shiyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dita meboa sutukaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shiyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dita meboa sutukaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shiyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dita meboa sutukaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shiyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dita meboa sutukaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shiyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata hum pe. So now feel completely purified and imagine there's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream, and even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. So now we come to the fourth opponent power, which is the power of resolve. And it's a really crucial step, this one. This is this determination to not harm with our body and our speech and our mind. And without making this determination, we're just going to keep doing the same old things over and over again. We have all these kind of like habit energies. Wherever they've come from, they're there. And we have this determination, this aspiration to not harm becomes like a beacon that guides our body and our speech and our mind in new and different directions. So, Lama Zopa Rinpoche used to talk about everything existing on the tip of the wishes. So it's like that. Everything exists on the tip of a wish. And so rejoice in your efforts coming here night after night. And then also think of something that you'd like to work on. So tomorrow is Independence Day here in the United States. So it's a time where a lot of people get together, families get together and barbecues and, all this celebration. So sometimes it can, with a little bit of alcohol in the mix, it can, people can say things that they don't really mean or inappropriate things. So now's a good time to sort of think about, well, if I am going to be in a family situation that might be triggering or where I might be reactive, maybe I could think beforehand about watching my speech, watching my body, watching my mind. So you can make a determination before you step into one of those kind of situations, about how it's going to be for you. So you have control. Don't let the situation control you. You can control it by controlling your own mind. It's easier said than done, though, I think. But anyway, it's something to think about. So this determination, to sort of refrain from harming, to do something about what's going on in our mind, gives us quite a bit of strength and quite a bit of direction. So Vajrasattva, imagine, is delighted with us and wants to merge with your mind and melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown and think, my teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. So next, Rinpoche recommends to meditate on emptiness. So we think in emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So, whatever level you understand emptiness, place your mind there for a little while. We can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. We can also think that the way things appear to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created doing this practice to all living beings and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. So let's just do another 3 verses of our chanting the names of Manjushri. Great reassurance, foremost celebration, great joyousness, the highest form of pleasure, abundance, reverence, action, venerable, great happiness, the noble Lord of splendor, the greatest grantor of all wishes wished for, the highest source of refuge, refuge granting, the fearsome enemy of potent danger, alleviating danger in all forms, with tufts of hair, with plumes of luscious hair, with matted locks, cord tied, 5-faced, with 5 hair tufts, his head well crowned, his head adorned with garlands of 5 strands. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, you guys, for keeping track of that. And so let's just make a strong wish for His Holiness the Dalai Lama to live long and for the swift return of precious Lam Zopa Rinpoche's, how they say is the unmistaken reincarnation. And then for all of your own precious teachers, whoever they may be. All right, everyone. So I'll be here tomorrow evening. So if you're wanting to come along and do this practice with us all, very, very welcome. Otherwise, if you're with family and partying, have a wonderful and safe few days. All right, everyone. Lots of love. Thanks for hosting you all of you, all several hosts here, and I'll see you tomorrow. All right. Thanks, everybody. Good night.